This is VOA Africa.
Good evening, I'm Esther Githui. You at It's Friday, January 24th. This is Africa 54. Swarms of locusts in East Africa are threatening food security across the entire sub-region. Historically black U.S. colleges and universities are set to launch satellite campuses in Africa. We'll have details.
Day for you like you did for me. Whisper in the wind with the sweetest melody.
And in our entertainment segment, we'll feature award-winning Ghanaian rapper, singer, songwriter, Manifest. East Africa is facing its most serious outbreak of locusts in 25 years. According to Kenyan authorities, swarms of the pesky insects are posing an unprecedented threat to food security in some of the world's most vulnerable countries. The Kenya-based East African regional body, IGAD, says an extremely dangerous increase in locust swarm activity is being reported in Kenya. One swarm measured 60 kilometers long by 40 kilometers wide in the country's northeast. A Nairobi-based climate scientist told the Associated Press heavy rain and high temperatures favorable to conditions for locust breeding are to blame for the outbreak. Kenyan farmers are asking the government to act fast to get rid of the locusts, which can wreak havoc. A Kitui County official says he is pleading with government and international agencies to help.
I'm seeing a catastrophe ahead and a very big threat to food security in our area. These are very dangerous animals, and actually I can qualify this one to be a threat, and it needs to be managed. So I'm calling upon all the agencies involved that they come out very fast, and we want to see a quick response towards these menace so that they are controlled before they can destroy our food crops.
Roughly the length of a finger, the locusts fly together by the millions and are devouring crops and forcing people in some areas to bodily wade through them. The outbreak of desert locusts, considered the most dangerous locust species, is affecting parts of Somalia, Ethiopia, Sudan, Djibouti, and Eritrea. IGAD warns that parts of South Sudan and Uganda could be next. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization has allocated $10 million for aerial spraying in the region. Now, the World Health Organization is warning that the coronavirus outbreak in China represents a high global risk, but stopped short of declaring a global public health emergency. The number of confirmed cases rose to over 500, with at least 18 deaths in China. Authorities are taking strict measures to try to halt the spread of the disease. Here's Henry Ridgewell with the latest.
In lockdown, the Chinese city of Wuhan, population 11 million, at the center of the coronavirus outbreak. These images, captured on a mobile phone Thursday, show police deployed across the city. The security measures are being rolled out across Hubei province as the number of cases has soared in recent days. Residents planning to travel for the upcoming Lunar New Year celebrations this weekend are being turned away as public transit in and out of the city is cut off. At Beijing Airport, travelers are taking what precautions they can.
I'm really worried. I'm really scared it will become the next SARS. That's why we all wear masks.
Chinese state television showed medical workers screening passengers at airports across the country. Any with high temperatures are being quarantined. VOA is unable to verify the accuracy of these images. The World Health Organization Thursday stopped short of declaring what it terms a public health emergency of international concern, which would put the virus on the same level as the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Make no mistake, this is, though, an emergency in China. But it has not yet become a global health emergency. It may yet become one.
The WHO Emergency Committee plans to meet again in 10 days. Experts say the coronavirus is not yet as serious as past epidemics, such as the SARS outbreak in 2003, which killed almost 800 people.
It's the closest relative of SARS that we know, and therefore it has to be regarded as something that's really potentially quite dangerous. Having said that, the case fatality rate, that's the proportion of infected people that die, is considerably lower than SARS.
The virus is thought to have originated in wild animals being illegally traded in a seafood market in Wuhan.
It's particularly important that the Chinese get all the support that they need to really nip this thing in the bud in Wuhan, and making sure that all contacts of all cases are traced and quarantined, and that everybody who has respiratory symptoms in Wuhan is tested for the virus.
Across the world, authorities are ramping up the screening of travellers. Experts say the biggest fear is human-to-human transmission of the virus outside China, which could indicate the start of a global epidemic. Henry Ridgewell for VOA News.
Trouble is brewing for Angolan billionaire Isabel dos Santos. The nation's chief prosecutor says authorities could issue an international arrest warrant if she fails to cooperate with a fraud investigation in which she has been named as a suspect. Angola has named Dos Santos, the daughter of former President Jose Eduardo dos Santos, as a suspect over alleged mismanagement and misappropriation of funds while she was chairwoman of the state oil farm Sonangol in 2016 and 2017. Dos Santos, who was named Africa's richest woman by Forbes with a fortune estimated at over $2 billion, is a highly divisive figure in Angola. Her supporters see her as an inspirational entrepreneur, while her detractors say she embodies the kind of nepotism and corruption that has plagued the continent.
In the old government, everyone was involved in corruption. And in my opinion, it's not only the Dos Santos family or even the old transport minister that stole from the country. There's still a lot of stuff to come up, and I hope it does, because Isabel is not the only one that is guilty.
I think it's important for everyone involved in corruption to show where they got their money from. And with regards to Isabel dos Santos, there's an ongoing international case, which she's being accused. But then those facts must be checked.
Isabel dos Santos is only paying for what she did throughout all these years. If she got rich illegally, then she must pay for it, because everyone that commits a crime must be responsible for their actions. So if she was part of this corruption scheme, then she must suffer the consequences.
Dos Santos is set to dump her controlling stake in Portuguese engineering firm Efacec, according to company officials. Portugal's market watchdog is launching inquiries into various firms where she holds stakes. Dos Santos is denying any illegal activity. 6 Rwandan opposition figures have been jailed for 7 to 12 years after being convicted of forming an illegal armed group and conspiring against the government, according to state radio. The 6 belonged to the FDU Ikingi party, formerly led by Victor Ingabire, an outspoken critic of President Paul Kagame. Gatera Gashabana, the lawyer for the 6, says they will appeal their conviction and sentences. A diaspora initiative to create satellite campuses of historically black colleges and universities in Africa has launched. Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland is expected to roll out degree programs in Ghana later this year. To learn more about this initiative, I'm joined by Kwabna Boateng, the founder and co-president of the African Diaspora Nation and chair of the HBCU Africa Homecoming Initiative. Kwabna, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you very much, Esther. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Now, break it down for us. What exactly is Morgan State University planning to do in Ghana, and what should students there who want to join this initiative, what should they do? How should they enroll?
Well, Morgan State University becomes the first HBCU ever to venture into Africa in this way. They're looking at launching bachelor's and master's degree programs in journalism, communications, and entrepreneurship, at the African University College of Communications. And all this has come about because of this convening platform that we put together, the HBCU Africa Homecoming Initiative. It's a purpose-driven initiative to facilitate opportunity exchange between HBCUs and African institutions.
How are the students enrolling? Have they already enrolled? We know that it's coming up later this year.
Yes, just a few days ago, the provost of Morgan State and some deans were in Ghana meeting with their counterparts at the African University College of Communications. Word is that in the fall, those courses are going to be offered. So I expect some marketing activity on that in the next few days and weeks. And for more information on that, just follow us on organizingforafrica.today, www.organizingforafrica.today.
So what is expected? What's the expected outcome of this initiative? When do students graduate, and are these programs tailor-made for the job market?
Well, it's definitely tailor-made to equip the students to deliver their unique potential, right? So we expect them to be creating jobs, of course, go through various experiences, but ultimately to be people who create jobs. It's about leadership. It's about self-discovery and towing that path, and not necessarily a mass production of people for a certain labor segment, even though that's important too.
Well, Ghana is already set as we speak. What about the other African countries? Which countries are you looking to launch these degree programs?
Yes, we're actually not looking at a country-to-country basis. We're looking at a regional basis so that you don't have, clashes, right? So when you look at West Africa, you look at Ghana. When you look at East Africa, right, you look at Kenya, Rwanda, Central Africa, right? So that it's a regional approach that we've taken. And we start with Ghana, we roll it out, we learn, we evolve it within the local context and scale. That is the approach.
So far, what kind of challenges are you facing? Are there kind of government bureaucracies? What are you encountering as you try to get these programs launched in the country?
So we started in Ghana, and Ghana last year declared the year of return and has also launched the Beyond the Return initiative, yielding the diaspora dividend. So the environment in Ghana, and I'll say due to some great leadership by the president, as well as the Office of Diaspora Affairs of the Office of the President, Dr. Iwababio, that has made Ghana a conducive environment. Ghana has positioned itself appropriately, and we've had their support. We haven't asked them for resources, we've asked them for the endorsement, and they've done that. So no issues there at all at this point. Now it's really about getting more partners to sponsor this summit we're doing in July 23rd to 25th, which is really the convening platform where all this magic is happening, right? You bring all these various stakeholders, investors, you bring the institutions, because the institutions are not building infrastructure themselves. They're bringing content, programming, and a certain culture of innovation. You need investors, private sector, to participate in that. You need the Forum of African Kings, Queens, and traditional leaders who are usually landowners to participate in that. So we are really an aggregator. We define a vision, bring these stakeholders together, and within a framework of authentic connections and meaningful impact, amazing things happen.
Now, Kwabna, a lot of students watching this program, especially from your country, Ghana, are wondering how much they should expect to get out of their pockets to pay for these programs.
Well, that information will be coming out, and as I said, in the next few weeks, right? But they should be assured of a very quality education, and one which empowers them to unleash their true potential. That's what we're all looking for, innovation. There is a need for great innovation within a STEAM framework.
Right, Kwabna, thank you very much. We look forward to these students graduating, and we can have some of them here on Africa 54.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Esther.
Right. Kwabna Boateng is the founder and co-president of the African Diaspora Nation and chair of the HBCU Africa Homecoming Initiative. And we're excited to hear what you think about Africa 54. Join the discussion on Facebook. The address is Africa 54. We're also streaming our broadcast live on Facebook. Please watch and share our show with your friends. Also check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. We'll be back.
Are you ready to ride?
Clara Frank, and here's what's trending. Typically, the red envelope gifted for Chinese New Year is adorned with traditional decorations and greetings of prosperity. But this year, Jason Kwan, a rubber stamp artist, is putting a political spin on the tradition by designing protest-themed red envelopes. His envelopes read Revolution of Our Times and Liberate Hong Kong. Unlike other red envelope designers, Jason does not sell the red packets to his customers directly. He only sells the rubber stamp and leaves the stamping process to his customers. Next up, this is no ordinary ice cream. Tucked inside the creamy white ice cream is little bits of a traditional Scottish dish known as haggis, plus some swirls of marmalade for good measure. Every year, Mackey's of Scotland makes a single batch of the unique concoction to go on sale at its Aberdeen ice cream parlor for Burns Night. It's made in honor of famed Scottish poet Robert Burns. Haggis is Scotland's national dish, a blend of offal, oats, and spices, traditionally served in a sheep's stomach. And finally, toy sales in the United Kingdom fell 6% last year, a drop which the industry is blaming on Brexit and a December general election. Manufacturers at Toy Fair 2020 hope the 5,000 new products they're launching at the trade event will boost sales this year. And while there's so far no sign of the kind of big toy craze that can trigger an explosion in sales, one emerging trend is so-called mindful play toys. They're designed to help children feel calmer, more self-aware, and generally have better mental health. Another toy trend, fun that encourages good behavior. And that's what's trending today.
In other world news, U.S. House managers begin their final day of arguments Friday in the impeachment trial of President Donald Trump. House Democrats told senators Thursday that President Trump frequently and evidently abused the powers of the presidency. VOA congressional correspondent Catherine Gibson has more from Capitol Hill in this report voiced by Michael Brown.
The Senate will convene as a court of impeachment. The chaplain will lead us in prayer.
Day 3 of the impeachment trial centered on a key argument. No president is above the law.
The Constitution is not a suicide pact. It does not leave us stuck with presidents who abuse their power in unforeseen ways that threaten our security and democracy.
Nadler making their crucial pitch after a warning from Chief Justice John Roberts earlier in the week to both sides, including Nadler, to watch their tone.
Members avoid speaking in a manner and using language that is not conducive to civil discourse.
Prompting lead impeachment manager Adam Schiff to thank senators after several marathon trial days.
Thank you, Chief Justice, and thank you to the senators.
A rare moment of calm after a sometimes contentious debate showing how differently each side views impeachment.
Impeachment is a dramatic remedy. It is meant to remove somebody who is the president immediately because that person is either a criminal or so grossly abusive that we as a nation cannot afford to have that person remain in office for one more day. It would be a real shame if this dramatic remedy all of a sudden becomes a partisan political tool and is weaponized to go after presidents whose policies or personality we don't like.
But Democrats say they've made such a strong case, the president's lawyers will start their defense Saturday from a disadvantage.
House managers are setting the bar very high for the President's Council to meet. At this point, I'm not sure how the President's Council, as unprepared, confused, and tending towards conspiracy theories as they have been, can clear it.
Democrats say one of those conspiracy theories revolving around former Vice President Joe Biden's actions in Ukraine should not require his testimony in the trial.
Vice President Biden followed official U.S. policy. He went through official channels to remove the prosecutor that was corrupt. And he did it with the support of our allies. That is the exact opposite of what President Trump did. He pushed Ukraine for an investigation that has no basis, that no one agreed with, that was not at all U.S. policy, and that only benefited him.
But Republicans said it's a strategic error to bring up the president's 2020 election rival and the involvement of his son in Ukrainian gas company Burisma.
No, I was very surprised that they chose to make Hunter Biden so central to this presentation. For my part, if we're going to call witnesses, I think it's now clear we absolutely must call Hunter Biden, and we probably need to call Joe Biden.
Trump's Hill ally arguing the president's actions in Ukraine didn't warrant impeachment, but celebration.
They're making the argument that Donald Trump's temporary freeze of funds caused the Ukrainian army to collapse and people died. Nothing could be further from the truth. They got more aid from the Trump administration, the Obama administration.
In their final day of arguments Friday, Democrats will make the case for the second article of impeachment, alleging Trump obstructed Congress's efforts to investigate him. For VOA congressional correspondent Catherine Gibson, I'm Michael Brown, VOA News.
It's time for Entertainment Report, and joining me now is VOA Music Time in Africa host Heather Maxwell with hot sounds from a rapper and songwriter. Hello, Heather.
Hi, Esther. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Ghana and Nigeria are notoriously contentious when it comes to which country makes the best jollof rice. But when it comes to musical collaborations, they fall in famously harmonious accord. Manifest and Burna Boy are a perfect example of a musical match made in heaven. Kwame Ofori and I had the chance to sit with Manifest to discuss the making of his single featuring Burna Boy called Tomorrow. Hello, everybody. This is Heather Maxwell.
This is Star Sansi here for You Now and Always.
And we are doing Song of the Week with Manifest.
Nice to be here.
And we're also not in our studio in VOA, are we, Kwame?
Nope. For the first time, you took me to Ghana.
I didn't leave him behind, as he always says. So we are in Accra, Ghana, and it is a delight to have Manifest with us and to be together. The Song of the Week is Tomorrow. Let's check it out. So Manifest, I love this song, and the collaboration with Burna Boy just really works. How did you guys come to do this collaboration?
Well, our meeting was a long time coming, but eventually we linked up in person in 2018. And we ended up recording a couple of songs, and then one ended up on his album, African Giants, and that was released earlier in the year. And then we released this. We really have a good chemistry, so I think every time people hear us, it doesn't have to be about the same subject matter, but it really resonates.
I'll say it does. There is a Grammy, mention of a Grammy somewhere. Can you explain that real quick?
Yeah, definitely. His album, African Giants, just got nominated for a Grammy, and the song we did, Another Story, was on that album. The question is really, why is it just one Grammy nomination?
You guys were in a hotel room when you recorded that song. Will you explain that? I think that's very interesting.
Technology is also an equalizer. It's made it possible so that we have mobile studio equipment. And we don't always have to plan, let's go to the studio. So it allows us to tap into immediate spontaneous energy. And he was here for vacation when his hotel room were kicking it. the beat was played, and the song was made, and it was magical afterwards. Yeah.
The beat was played and the song was made.
Nowhere Cool feels more political, if I can say that. But then the Gumbo feels more like a love story. What inspired the theme for the Gumbo? And then tomorrow?
Well, I think both Nowhere Cool and the Gamble, what they have together, there's concept albums. So Nowhere Cool, because of the nature of the concept of it, which is the grass is always greener on the other side, except it isn't. I had to tackle many different things. And then tomorrow is one of the expressions of an urgent love. You're asking somebody to almost gamble on that love, to say tomorrow might never come. But once we're here today, let's love like tomorrow. Desperation you hear in that kind of a love song. It's not that let's live forevermore, let's be together forever. It's to say, you know what, nobody's promised tomorrow, so I might mess up, but guess what? Today I'll love you like tomorrow will never come.
And it's a beautiful video, very, very beautiful video. What interests me though is why 7 songs on the album?
Aside from the fact that if you like numerology, 7 is a lucky number. I wasn't trying to stretch it out. Some got left on the cutting floor, some songs, but this felt like the narrative from beginning to front fit together and left people wanting more.
So it's a tasty snack.
It's more than a snack.
Would you just sing a little bit of Tomorrow, just sort of freestyle?
You want to Mr. Right? I'm Mr. Right now. I can turn a tear into a bright smile. Damn, what's a year? How many fights now? Tomorrow, no, they promise to nobody. So today, I will love you like say tomorrow, no day.
That's our entertainment report for today. Esther.
Thank you so much, Heather. Join Heather Maxwell again next Friday for another edition of another sizzling entertainment report right here on Africa 54. And that's our show for today. Be sure to watch Africa 54 on our website at voaafrica.com. From all of us here in Washington, have a great weekend.